Hello and welcome. My name is Tim Shaw, one of the Government Affairs Directors here at the Pacific West Association of Realtors. And today I'm on location at the Orange County Sanitation District Plant. When you flush your toilet, when you run your dishwasher, when you take a shower, that water ends up somewhere, and it ends up here if you live in the northern part of Orange County. And here to explain all of this to us is the General Manager of the Orange County Sanitation District, Mr. Rob Thompson. Rob, thanks for taking the time to be with us.
Thank you, Tim. Happy to do it. I love to show off the treatment plant.
So Rob, how long have you been here at the district?
I've worked for the Sanitation District for 29 and a half years, coming up on 30 in July.
And how long have you been the actual General Manager?
A little over 2 years now.
Okay. Well, people may not appreciate the great work done here at the Sanitation District. Of course, we live in a desert of Southern California. We have to be very efficient with the water we do have, so that we're going to explain how this works. So step one in the process is called the Headworks, right? What happens here?
So at the Headworks, the treatment plant, all the trunk lines that we own from all over the county come into this central plant area. We have one plant in Fountain Valley and one in Huntington Beach. They're very similar, but at this point in the Headworks, all the water is collected and we run it through a bar screen. The bar screen are 5/8" bars made of steel. Anything bigger than 5/8 gets caught, and then you'll see this rake go down, pick all that material up, and put it into a bin. It'll go on a ride down our conveyance system here, and that all goes to a landfill. Next step is to remove sand and grit, pebbles, that sort of thing. That all also ends up in a bin. That all goes to a landfill. That's waste. Everything else, from our perspective, is something that we reuse and reclaim in some way.
Now, how big is the plant here that's taking in the water?
Both of our treatment plants are about the same physical size, about 110 acres each, and each one has about the same capacity. In wet weather, we can take up to 320 million gallons per day of flow at each plant, and either reuse it or safely discharge it to the ocean.
Now, people may not appreciate it or watching this at home. It's a little smelly in this room where we're at. This is basically your toilet water, and it's starting to get raked up.
Yeah.
So I know one of the big things to be a good neighbor to the homeowners is we make a lot of effort to control the odor. How does that work?
So OC San does try to be a good neighbor, and for me, I gotta say the standard joke, it does smell like money, but for those that aren't accustomed to that luxury, we do try and filter it out. So what you see is, we're in this enclosed building. If you were to look around, all the air in this building is being sucked out, all the air in our sealed pipelines are being sucked out, and throughout the treatment plant, everything's covered. That foul air is pulled out of the process areas, it's pulled into scrubbers. We use biological scrubbers, which are basically a box of rocks. You spray water over, the foul air comes through, all the odorants are captured and eaten by the biology. Whatever makes it through that goes through a chemical scrubber. We put it through a bleach water system where there's a vessel full of what I'll call wiffle balls. The bleach water goes over the wiffle balls, the air comes up through the bottom, and in that exchange, all the H2S and methyl mercaptan are destroyed. So it's super important. If you're outside the building, most of the time you won't know we're there. We work really hard at it. In addition, we also treat odors in our collection system. We put chemicals in the pipes to prevent the formation of H2S, so we don't even have to treat it. It's pre-treated or prevented from forming.
So as we were mentioning, when you're a treatment plant for sewage, it can get a little smelly. And one of the good things that the district works on is controlling the odor for the surrounding community. So Rob, go ahead and tell us more about that.
So yeah, we have the three methods of odor control. We have biological, which is this big vessel right here. It's very high tech. It's a big box of rocks. They take volcanic rock, we spray water over that rock, and algae will start to grow. What feeds the algae is the foul air. It's going to capture the H2S and methyl mercaptan that are in that make the rotten egg smell or smell of natural gas. That's all going to be eaten by that organism. Anything that makes it through that biological scrubber is going to go to our chemical scrubbing system off in the distance. That's what's actually depicted here. They're vessels You spray water in the top full of bleach. It courses over. You can see the little wiffle balls in the windows there. As it courses over that surface area, it's splashing around. All the remaining H2S, methyl mercaptan, are captured in the bleach water and destroyed. So what you get is regular old air, like we're not even here.
So nature's taught us a lot about how to clean water, and we've learned those lessons from Mother Nature. One of the steps is actually involving birds. So what are those birds doing for us here, Rob?
Well, we do emulate nature, and this is the final phase of what we've done. We've used biology and gravity to clean the water really, really well. But now, at the final step, what you see are the birds, and I call them the lazy birds. We're feeding them for free. All the water that's coursed over our algae beds that are cleaning that water for secondary treatment, the little bits of algae and snail larvae that are being washed off, that many hundreds of thousands of square feet of algae are coming up in that center well. All the birds love to sit there, just wait for the food to come to them. So what we do is create a really pure water source that you can see. It came in black with about 350 parts per million stuff in it, and it's now leaving here pretty clean at about 5 parts per million. That's going to go to the water district. They're going to do 3 more steps of treatment and turn that into the final process of pure drinking water.
So I was going to mention that. So the Orange County Sanitation District can't take full credit for cleaning the water. The Sanitation District gets it when it's at its yuckiest, cleans it up an awful lot, but then we have a great partnership between the Orange County Sanitation District and the Orange County Water District, right?
Right. It's a world-leading partnership. Nobody else in the world's done it quite like we have. We provide all the water to them for free. They filter it, microfilter it. We get back whatever they filter out. We're in the solids business. We're good at it. Happy to do it. We take it for free. They put the next water through RO treatment, so they take out viruses, salt, all of those tiny particulates. We then put that out in the ocean. It's good for discharge to the ocean. We take that for free. They then take that water, hit it with UV light and hydrogen peroxide to make sure it's disinfected, and that's what's put back in the aquifer for reuse later by 1 million people throughout the county.
And by the time we're all done here, how much drinking water gets put back into the system?
So we take in 185 million gallons a day of raw wastewater. We make most of that available to them, and they make 130 million gallons a day of drinking water.
And if I'm not mistaken, there was a Guinness World Record awarded to this operation, right?
Correct. We had the Guinness people come in and certify our use. It was before our final expansion. That plant was rated at 100 million gallons, and after years of operation, we still were producing the nameplate rating of the plant, 100 million gallons in one day. So it's a testament not only to just building a product or a project, but to making sure it's maintained and operating 24/7, 365 as advertised.
And I think I want to really drive home to the people watching, where if a lot of people around the world and even in the United States that live in a desert environment probably have a government that's very strict on rationing water. They don't let you have a lawn and that sort of stuff. But here in Southern California, in Orange County particularly, where we're so good at using the water we do have, we don't have to resort to these draconian measures. Is that right?
Right. We're in the business of abundance, as the Water District would say. So we're doing our best to use every drop of water. We say we want the hardest working water drop in the world. So it gets used several times before we let it go.
And how does the funding come in to operate the district? How do we get the funding?
I know you're probably thinking, wow, you do things that other people don't do. I'm probably paying a premium. I'm happy to say you're not. We're in the lowest third cost-wise of the state. For every residential home connected to our system, you're going to pay a one-time fee of $374 per year. That covers what we do. We do get a bit of the property tax increment. We get about $120 million a year from that. over the 2.5 million people that 2.6 million people that we serve. So we are a bargain in the wastewater world, and we overperform by delivering more services like reused biosolids, reused water, and remade energy. We make our own energy from the solids that we collect.
The sanitation district is probably one of those, things that no one thinks about, and they never do think about until something does go wrong. Yeah. But 99% of the time, we go around our lives and we flush our toilet, we run our dishwasher, and don't think about it. But it really is a miracle that's happening every day here in Orange County.
Yes. We're 19 years since our last water quality permit violation. So long ago, I don't even remember what it was, but one of the components going out our outfall was a little off. And our last sewer spill within the collection system was in November of 2022. So we work really, really hard to collect that wastewater, keep it contained, keep it out of the streets, get it here for reuse and recycling, get it reused, or get it to the ocean where it belongs after treatment. So we take our responsibility very, very seriously for public health and the environment.
So for a realtor or a homeowner who might be watching this, what is the message that you'd like to share with them? How does this impact them?
We're a good neighbor. We work hard throughout our district in collection systems and the plants to control odors, because that's a nuisance we don't want to be. We work hard at renewing our infrastructure and keeping it up to date so you can rely on safe, clean water, either at the beach, which is a huge recreational opportunity, or for drinking water purposes. And we do it at a very economical rate at the lower third cost of the state, only $374 per year per household.
So we're back here in front of the administrative building for the Orange County Sanitation District. It's brand new, right? So yes. How did that work out for us?
This is our brand new mass timber headquarters building. It's worked out fantastic. We were able to buy some land across the street from the plant and make more space available for future treatment and new technology. So it's great. It's a modern facility. Again, mass timber, so it's a green facility, more efficient than our old facility. Has all the accoutrements that go with data and technology improvements, so staff are more effective and more efficient.
Well, great. So we saw all the work across the street in cleaning up the water. And we have little bottles here, groundwater replenishment system. So after it started off real yucky, and here it is, as clean as can be. So we're gonna have a little cheers. Cheers,
cheers.
Rob. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you for coming to see us.
We will see you next time.
Tastes like water.